Colonel and working with Tuma Mazeth doesn't seem worth the risk.
The sickle we took from Nocturnal is just what the Necromancer needs to complete his ritual in Bloodrun Cave. Of course, it's worth it. Just stay here until we receive further instructions.
Who are you? What did you hear? She's always been a worrier, even when we were kids. Huh. Melona's probably right. I only have to think about her employer and I break out into a cold sweat. When I'm done with this job, I'm going to become a carpenter. Fewer terrifying clients. Who told you that? Melona? I won't apologize for what happened the last time I saw her, and you can tell her that yourself.
What do you want? All right. No need to bring that shadowy hag into this. Look, Geo doesn't know this, but Tuma Mazeth said he'd turn us into his eternal slaves if we didn't help him. You stop that necromancer, and I'll find a more respectable occupation. Promise. Who have you been talking to? Melona? She went crazy after she found religion, judging us when she worships Nocturnal. Psst. Never could appreciate irony.
May Arcade drive back the darkness, forevermore.
Blessings of Zenithar to you, laborer. I hope you have prospered since we last crossed paths. The Primate was most pleased to learn that the Golden Anvil may shine again. He's eager to meet Gavos as well, when he next visits this temple.
It feels good to pray at Zenithar's altar once again. Though I admit it feels too decadent. After decades of praying on the bare floors of the Adytum, I keep you and Illusion in my daily prayers.
Pray for what you seek.
If you seek blessings on matters of wealth, trade, labor, or communication, feel free to pray to Zenithar while you are here. He might not provide you with the mace of the Crusader as he did Pelinal Whitestrake, but he may answer in other ways.
I find it interesting that the priests dedicated to Zenithar can drink the others under the table. That's true dedication. They've earned my respect. So many new faces in the city. Are you here about the notice? We can use the help. If you need work and aren't concerned about risks, then we should talk. As a representative of Leowin, I can assure you that this is all above board. Oh no, not me personally. I work for Leowin's Chamber of Legates. These days, I'm more of an administrator. Have been since the time of the Longhouse Emperors. Speak to Dedum Joss or Britta Silenus. They hire adventurers for dangerous jobs on a daily basis. Curiosity with a dash of prudence. Good qualities for an adventurer. Usually that means you'll live longer. All right, what do you want to know? Dedum Joss represents business interests in Leowin that are willing to pay for an adventurer's help. These involve acquiring items or gathering components from specific locations. A single adventurer can usually handle these tasks. Terrible monsters lurk in the wilds, threatening the good folk of Blackwood. They're too much for the Leowin militia, so Britta Solanus is recruiting heroes to help. These foes are tough. You will need a group of adventurers to defeat them. If you prefer to work alone, see Dietem Joss. He's got odd tasks, but they pay well. If you're interested in group tasks, talk to Britta Solanus. Group work is dangerous. Bring friends. Here's a modest advance to show you that we're serious about these efforts. Remember, see Dietem Joss for jobs you can handle on your own, or Britta Solanus for jobs that require groups of heroes. You will be paid handsomely for every task you complete. That's right. The legates don't want to leave these problems to fester, and someone has to organize things. Back in the days of the Longhouse Emperors, I took up a sword and handled things myself. Nowadays I do the paperwork and recruit help. You know, the Reachman Emperors. They ruled the Empire for decades. Old Morakar kept mercenaries like me busy, but I suppose their days come and gone. I kept my job here because I knew where we kept the supplies, and hid some bodies. They're the ruling body of Leowin. When things fell apart in Cyrodiil, local officials stepped up, although I wouldn't call Councillor Leviticus a local official. He used to sit on the Elder Council. Strange times we live in, eh?
I doubt I will have anything more for you until I speak with my clients, but I will be sure to let you know when I do. Be safe out there. All kinds of things. I specialize in work that a single adventurer could accomplish, given enough metal. Beyond that, it merely depends on what the people of Leowin ask of me.
I love your enthusiasm, but I don't have anything else for you at this moment. Never fear, something will come up soon. A fair question. I'll hire anyone who looks like they know which end of a sword to hold. It's my job to match up adventurers like yourself and big problems that need solving. Specifically, problems that require a group of adventurers to handle. The wilds can be dangerous in the best of times, but things have gotten worse of late. With all Blackwood's troubles, the Ivory Brigade can't spare many brigadines to keep the roads safe and the monsters in check. So, we hire mercenaries.
Right behind you, partner.
Just pet the dog. It's harmless. Oh, Tertia, you idiot. No wonder he hasn't... Is there something you want? I'd like to be left alone right now. Body? Ring? Oh, Riemann on high, what's this about? Aloysius wrote this? And he's dead? This makes no sense. Howling, chicken coops, it was just a mangy mutt. I don't even think it was rabid, let alone... Oh no, Aloysius. You poor fool. He wasn't cursed. He was hallucinating. The toad that Argonian used to ease his pain must have been too strong for him. Aloysius convinced himself he was a werewolf, and he... This is the second worst proposal I've ever had. I was once kidnapped by a crazed Sulzon warlord and offered the heads of my neighbors as a dowry. I'd rather not talk about it. I've had more than a dozen failed engagements in my life. If anyone here is cursed, it's me. But it's not all bad news. Aloysius didn't run off and leave me like half the others. He even gave his life to protect me. I've never had anyone love me that much. Is it wrong that makes me happy? Take this, for delivering my betrothed's last wishes. It was kind of you. I wonder if the Temple of Mara would marry us posthumously. It was his dying wish, after all. Maybe I should employ a priest of Arche for the ceremony, so he can pass on without regrets? Well, why not? I've had absolutely no luck with the living, and it's what he wanted. I'd rather die a widow than an old maid. It's not like this is how I dreamed of getting married, but after being jilted so many times, I may as well marry a man who can't change his mind. You may not get it, but for your sake, I hope you never have to.
Can you believe that some Nibonese make a hobby out of arranging marriages? You heard me correctly. A hobby, not a paid profession. The only thing worse is planning weddings. Who would volunteer for that?
Poor Counselor Jarek. What happened to her? It's so awful. I was the last one to talk to her. I should have gone with her. I should have been there when it happened.
How terribly frustrating. Not only did Counselor Jarek miss our meeting today, she went and got herself killed. Now who will help me with the project we were working on? Oh, it's so very inconsiderate.
It was just as I feared. Counselor Jarek murdered. And so close to the city gates. Where were the city guard or the brigadines when she needed them?
I heard you were with Counselor Jarek when she expired. I hope you find the cretins that killed her. They deserve whatever punishment you and the Divines can devise.
Oh, hey! Over here! I'm glad you're here. I've been searching all over, but I could use your help. This place is huge. Why do rich people need so many rooms? Oh, but tell me, did you warn the counselors like I asked? Sophus is dead? Damn! Was it the Dark Brotherhood? What am I saying? Of course it was! I've torn this place apart, but so far I haven't found anything related to Imperial secrets or the ambitions. Maybe you can spot something I missed. I knew you'd be a help, but I didn't expect you to just have the answer the moment you walked in. Good job! Counselor Jarek's bedroom is upstairs. Let's see if we can find that hidden compartment. hidden compartment? I love it! I mean, I hate that people have died, but... So, what did you find? Let me see that. That's a code, all right. Some of the other documents I found use something similar. You know, I'm really starting to hate all this secrecy surrounding the ambitions. I'm almost certain of it. And Councillor Leviticus knows my brother. We talked about him a bit when I arrived. If there isn't a qualified scribe nearby, I can send for my brother. Let's go to Leowyn Castle and talk to Leviticus. I can't help feeling that once we solve the secret of the Longhouse Emperors, we'll know how to stop the Dark Brotherhood from murdering any more of the Councillors. I'll see you at the castle.
Let's hit the trail.
The Ivory Brigade is the finest group you'll find in all of Tamriel. Most of them served in the Three Banners War, but a few joined up just by word of mouth.
Did you hear that?
If you ever want to brush up on your fighting skills, you'll find plenty of willing participants around Leowyn. Lots of retired soldiers around here. Doesn't matter where your loyalties are, long as you have coin to spend.
If you plan to go hunting out in the marshes, watch out for the gigantic frogs. They're lethal. And don't even think about trying to tame one. They'll eat you in your sleep.
It'll be good to get away from the family a bit.
I suppose I could use another break.
hears voices in his head.
It's only stealing if you get caught, right?
Let's see what's around the next bend.
I need your report, mercenary. Word reached me that Councillor Jirik was murdered. What about Sophus and Valeria? And did you find definitive proof that the Dark Brotherhood is our culprit? That's the Black Hand, symbol of the Dark Brotherhood. I wish Jirik and Sophus had allowed me to assign brigadines to protect them. At least Valeria, however reluctantly, agreed to a military escort. Did you and Everly uncover any other information? It appears that Councillor Leviticus's trust in the Wood Elf was not misplaced. Very well. You and Everly can head in and talk to the Councillor.
Let's take the documents we received from Councillors Jirik and Sophus and show them to Councillor Leviticus. Maybe he can make sense of the Imperial Code. If not, I know someone I can contact. He's a wonder at these sorts of things.
Captain Rian and the Ivory Brigade will deal with the Dark Brotherhood. We are perfectly safe in here.
Your damn empire, Leviticus. It no longer exists, but it still causes us trouble. Leowin and its citizens are in danger, and Leviticus is only telling the Chamber of Legates about this now? This one knew we weren't done with Leovic and the Longhouse Emperors. She just knew it. While Countess Kero sits on Leowin's throne, it is the Chamber of Legates that governs the city. There are 3 legates. This one, Amhalu, and Leviticus. Each one has an equal voice. This one supposes Leviticus's voice is slightly louder. Leviticus was the chief counselor of the Imperial Elder Council. Since the threat concerned his former colleagues, he decided to keep it to himself until he ascertained its veracity. He did inform us as soon as the threat was deemed real. An august body that advised the emperors and maintained the imperial bureaucracy. It was disbanded with the collapse of the Empire. Many of the former counselors came here to escape the war in Cyrodiil. They retained their titles as a sign of respect.
To keep a situation like this a secret from his fellow legates. What was Leviticus thinking? And now Councillor Jirik is dead? When the river rises, everyone gets wet, I'm afraid. Most certainly. Moments after the captain brought Councillor Leviticus the news, the Councillor summoned Teb and myself. He explained everything. He should have done so sooner, allowed us to help, but I know he thought he was doing the right thing.
You must be the mercenary that Captain Rian told me about. And I see you're working with Everly Sharparrow. Good. Good. I assume you have something to report. I'm listening. Damn it all to oblivion and back. I should have taken Pharaoh Lupus more seriously when I received his letter. This is definitely the mark of the Dark Brotherhood. Anything else to add to this? Yes, that's the Longhouse Emperor's Code. Only a handful of Imperial scribes can decipher it. I know one. Baragon. I'll send for him at once. Meanwhile, we must warn the remaining counselors on the list. Eivor, Valeria, Itinia, and Vandacia. Very good. I've sent messages to Itinia and Vandacia already, as neither of them are currently within Leowin's jurisdiction. I need you to go to Fort Blueblood. Counselor Eivor has taken refuge there, but I'd prefer to have her here in Leowin. Everything we do now must be swift if we are to get ahead of this. Go to Fort Blueblood and convince Counselor Eivor to return to the city. She'll be safer here than at the fort. Sadly, no. Whatever Leovic confided in Pharaoh Lupus and the others, whatever he ordered them to do, he kept it a complete secret from me. I suppose he assumed I wouldn't go along with anything illegal or Daedric, and he was right. I was, but the Elder Council was made up of almost 24 counselors. According to the list Evely Sharparrow brought me, only 7 counselors were privy to this secret. Make that 6. I have no idea why Leovic listed me among that group. Who knows what was going through Leovic's head when he wrote that entry in his journal? Varen and his rebels were literally pounding at the doors of the palace at the time. And Leovic wasn't totally in his right mind even before the rebellion. The Longhouse Emperors were Reachmen, who seized control of the Empire and ruled for some 40 years. Dukarach the Black Drake founded the ruling house. Morikar ascended to the throne after his father's death, and his son Leovic followed him. Leovic made a mistake. When he decided to declare Daedra worship as the law of the land, Duke Varen Aquilarios objected. He led a rebellion and personally dispatched Leovic in the Imperial throne room. Thus ended the Longhouse Emperor's reign. Unfortunately, no. Varen disappeared a few years later and the Empire collapsed. Now the so-called alliances are fighting over the scraps and Tamriel is in shambles. We're doing all we can just to keep Blackwood safe and secure. Eivor has always had an affinity for the Imperial military. When she received her letter of warning from Pharaoh Lupus, she sent word to me, told me she was going to the fort, that the soldiers would protect her. I fear she is badly mistaken. Only a token force of Brigadines guards Fort Blueblood. If the Dark Brotherhood is truly our enemy, I fear a lone assassin can bypass the fort's defenses with relative ease. Eivor would be better off here in the castle. Go and bring her back at once.
Fort Blueblood? That's to the east, across the river. I'll meet you there.
Welcome to Leowin, citizen. Our city is a jewel on Topal Bay, safe from the ravages of that insane war. Thanks to the Ivory Brigade and Captain Rian's Brigadines, we are totally secure. Now, please go about your business and have a nice day. What an odd question. I am the ruler of Leowin. Of course, I allow the Chamber of Legates to deal with the day-to-day bureaucracy of the city, so I may concentrate on more important matters. Now, away with you. I have important matters to deal with.
Commander Orton oversees the Fort Blueblood Brigadines. Tell him I sent you, and he'll give you his full cooperation. Meanwhile, I'll recall Ivory Brigade squadrons from the surrounding countryside. The city and this castle will be defended.
I like places where things have happened, even if they were sad things.
Look, Counselor Leviticus and Captain Rianne sent me. I need to see Counselor Abor now.
And what about my sister? She hasn't been seen since she took the counselor her meal.
Counselor Abor was very clear about this. She doesn't want to be disturbed.
Commander Orton isn't listening to what I'm saying. I don't care if the counselor doesn't want to be disturbed. My sister brought a meal to her and hasn't been seen since. If anything has happened to Therese, me and my sister work as servants here at the fort. Therese was on kitchen duty. When the counselor called for a meal, it fell to her to deliver it to the watchtower. But Therese never returned to the kitchen and no one has seen her since.
I have my orders. No one is allowed into the watchtower without the express permission of Commander Orton. I have my order.
Commander Orton isn't listening.
Commander Orton won't listen. He insists that Counselor Abor gave him strict orders. Said she wasn't to be disturbed. You talk to Orton and try to convince him. And I'm not sure why the servant is in an uproar. Something about a meal and his sister?
Did you meet the new commander?
Oh, another mercenary. Is our Ivory Brigade so enfeebled that Captain Rianne must resort to hiring sellswords? Look, as I told the Wood Elf, Counselor Abor was quite insistent. She doesn't want to be disturbed. All right, enough. I can see when I'm being overruled. Very well. I give you permission to enter the watchtower. Counselor Abor's safety is now in your hands. Lurius? Oh, something about his sister. She's another servant here at the fort. Works in the kitchen, I believe. Apparently, she brought the counselor her meal. He says she never returned, but the servants look for any opportunity to sneak off. The counselor demanded we protect her. Said her life was in danger, but refused to give me any details. Imperial confidentiality, she insisted, above my station. I put her up in the watchtower and assigned a couple of brigandines to guard her.
Oh no! Counselor Abor's been murdered! But where's the servant? Abor's meal is still warm. So what happened to the servant that delivered it? The Dark Brotherhood's calling card. Of course they tore out the pages and took them, just when we were so close to finding out more about the ambitions. We have a door locked from the outside, a dead counselor, and a missing servant. Did the assassin take off with both the torn-out journal pages and the servant? Anyway, they not only murdered Abor, they probably know how to find the ambitions now. See that rope hanging from the top of the tower? Bet my bottom acorn that's how the assassin got in and out. But the missing servant... something about that is knocking on the back of my head. And why would the Dark Brotherhood take those pages? Maybe, but everything I've read about the Dark Brotherhood never suggested they would be interested in weapons of war, if that's even what the ambitions are. Damn it, we're loosing arrows in the dark here. Let's tell Commander Orton about Eibor.
So, will Counselor Eibor be returning with you to Leowin? Am I finally going to be able to get my fort back in order? Murdered? Gods, keep your voice down. Do you want to start a panic? Tell me what you found in the watchtower. Let me see that. A black handprint. The sign of the Dark Brotherhood. But where is the servant, Talais? Is she involved in this fiasco? And how did she and the assassin get out of the watchtower? My brigandines never left their post. Well, that explains some of it, but not all. We need to locate Talais. Since you're already involved and working for Captain Rian, I want you to quietly try to find Talais. Start by talking to the other servants in the kitchen and dining hall.
You heard the commander. The kitchen is inside the headquarters building, right over there.
Your sister is fine. This one is certain.
Then where could she be? She would never neglect her duties.
Probably found a dark corner and someone to snuggle with. This one does that all the time. Pleasant days, visitors. How can this one assist you? Ah, Talais. She worries her brother so. She asked me where we kept the hot root flakes. Counselor Eibor sprinkles them on every dish. I told her they are in the pantry, but you need the key from the kitchen to unlock the door.
All right, grab a broom and start sweeping.
What? No, that's Talais's job.
And do you see Talais anywhere? No. Then start sweeping.
Another new face in the fort? First Counselor Eibor, now you and that cute wood elf. Look, I'd love to chat, but Talais has wandered off and left me to handle her chores. She took the Counselor her meal and hasn't returned. Did you check the watchtower? Eibor's a little old, but maybe Talais decided to improve her station, if you catch my meaning. Eibor reeks of fear. Maybe Talais finds that attractive. Well, she's been acting like a frightened guar since she arrived. Stays locked up in the watchtower. Only lets a single servant in at a time.
And I hear she's been burning papers. Documents of some kind. She's scared out of her wits, if you ask me.
The servants come to the kitchen to mutter and gossip. This one will not have it. Misaba asks that you do not distract them overly long, as they are already naturally lazy. What is it that you need? That young woman. She has not returned from the watchtower, so her chores remain undone. And she took the pantry key with her when she went. It is no longer hanging on its hook. That is a clear violation of the kitchen rules. A clear violation. The pantry is in the cellar, but the door is around the side of the building. Therese mumbled something about how the counselor loves hot root flakes, grabbed the key and the tray of food and went off. This one hasn't seen her since.
Before we check the pantry, let's talk. So, what did we learn? Counselor Eibor was frightened, but that's understandable. Interesting that she was burning documents. Her journal indicated that she knew more than the others. And Therese visited the pantry before heading to the watchtower. Couldn't hurt. And every mystery novel I ever read taught me you should always follow up on every clue, even the ones that seem insignificant. Let's check the pantry and see if she was looking for more than hot root flakes down there.
What is it?
Is that... Damn it! They murdered Therese too!
I adore books.
Why
They're
would
like
the Dark
magical
Brotherhood
keys that
murder...
open up worlds and change
no.
perspectives.
We need to talk about this. All right, I think I figured it out. The assassin followed Therese down here, murdered her, and took her place so they could gain access to the watchtower. Pretty clever, but they didn't have to kill her. Right. Very funny. Wait, you're serious? If you're part of this, if you've been trying to save your murdering friends... Ah! All right, we're going back to Leowin. You can walk on your own, or I can drag your dead body behind me. Yeah, I've read that somewhere. But what about the calling cards? The Black Hand is definitely making a statement. Trying too hard to convince us that the Dark Brotherhood is behind the murders. All right, I can see your point. That doesn't change the fact that the remaining counselors are still in danger. We need to warn Counselors Valeria and Vandacia. Right. Report to Commander Orton on your way out. Tell him what happened. Then go check on Counselors Valeria and Vandacia. I need to return to Leowin and consult with Leviticus. But this, between you and I, it isn't over. Remember that. After you report to the commander, make contact with Counselors Valeria and Vandacia. Valeria went to Tidewater Cave to get her records, and Vandacia works in the Gideon Courthouse. Cracked acorns! I suddenly had the weirdest feeling come over me. Yes. No, I don't know. We were talking about the counselors. Valeria and Vandacia. Suddenly I had a premonition. It was brief and disturbing and mildly unpleasant, like the dreams I've been having. But this is the first time while I was awake. Remember I told you about that strange book I found? The one with the Daedric writing that I can't read? I've been having bad dreams since I found it, and the dreams are becoming more frequent. This time it happened right while we were talking. It was just a flash, but it was accompanied by a feeling. I felt a sense of overwhelming evil, all tied up in the figure I saw in my mind. Like someone held a portrait in front of my face for just a moment and then pulled it away. It was one of the Waking Flame cultists, I think. Someone powerful, in command. A dark silhouette wrapped in a cloak. I'll never forget the feeling it invoked. It was like a wave of hopelessness. We can deal with this later. Let's get back to it.
All right. You talked to the fort's servants and rummaged around in our pantry. What's the verdict? Did you find the missing servant? That's... Oh, that's horrible. Are you sure? No. Of course you're sure. No one would lie about something like that. I'll tell her brother what happened and send someone to tend to her body. Gods, what a day this has been.
Keep your weapons sharp and close.
Right behind you, partner. That should come in handy. Oblivion take you! You've got a knack for stumbling across those things.
They made their choices. So be it.
Will not stop me. They are mine to control.
Only shame in getting knocked down is in not getting back up. That's it, Parker. Give them everything you've got. Paralyzed. Don't think. Move! Were in a good mood when they made this place.
You return to me at last. The faithless wanderer succeeds where my servants fail. Once again, the fruits of devotion prove inferior to the benefits of skill. Claim your reward from Malona, mortal. You find favor in the shadows.
So, did you just return the Shade Sickle? Is my lady appeased? Oh, thank goodness that's over. Now that Nocturnal has the sickle, maybe she'll show me mercy. What about the necromancer Tuma Mazath? I didn't think he would willingly part with a relic. Good. The sickle should never be used in a necromancer's ritual. I'll make sure it's well hidden next time. No thief will ever claim it again. Speaking of which, are my friends all right? That's a relief. Gio and Dareen are good people. I know they are. Hopefully we can all put this behind us. Maybe. I hope so. Whether my friends and I will ever be able to move past all this, that's another matter. Here's your reward. Without your help, well, there's no telling what my lady is capable of. Thank you, and may the shadows guide you. I can't thank you enough. Nocturnal is wise and powerful, but in her realm of Evergloam, forgiveness is in very short supply. Of course, the failure was mine. I earned whatever rebuke my lady had planned for me. Faith isn't a matter of convenience, my friend. My lady is unfathomable, powerful, eternal. I will follow her wisdom, whatever the cost.
Let's ride.